Did you know that Fallout 4 has a secret disguise system? During the Railroad main quest in-game, things go pretty bad. The Railroad is completely caught off guard as the Brotherhood of Steel launches a surprise attack on the Railroad HQ. Not great. Thankfully, I'm him, so after easily fending off the surprise attack, the Railroad makes the rather brave choice to immediately launch Operation Red Glare, a covert operation to destroy the Pridwin in retaliation. And the plan here isn't the best. It's pretty much just up to us to roll up to the Brotherhood base, steal a Brotherhood vertibird from this police station, and then fly it up and sneak on board the Pridwin. So typically, this is a very difficult quest. You either sneak your way around the Pridwin with Brotherhood members everywhere, easily able to detect you, or you have to fight your way through tons of high-level and power-armored enemies. On higher difficulties, this quest is a nightmare. But there is a secret third option here, because when you land on the Pridwin, if you're just wearing a Brotherhood of Steel outfit, such as the night uniform I have here that I literally just looted from the previous mission, you can now simply walk through the Pridwin in disguise. None of the Brotherhood members here will attack you, but there's still going to be unique challenges. Several Brotherhood of Steel members will stop to talk to you. The senior scribe on the command deck will mention hearing about an attack on the police station, which, yeah, we just did that to steal this vertibird, and you have to work your way through some completely new dialogue to survive. I chose to tell the truth here about it being a railroad attack, but then I met with even more difficult speech checks to justify us surviving this attack.
They mounted some sort of last-ditch assault. I think the railroad's gone.
That's a relief. Your bird flew support on the railroad assault, right? How'd they beat us? Elder Maxon's furious.
They had some Institute super weapons, auto-locking with bullets that curved. The whole thing is hush-hush.
Listen, I won't tell anyone. We'll get him next time.
If you get through that, you'll make it onto the Pridwin's main deck. This is where you're actually tasked with placing the explosives. But Proctor Quinlan will stop you to inquire about a load of technical documents that were supposed to be on our specific vertibird, which opens up further new dialogue.
Technical documents may be exactly what we need to repair Liberty Prime. So you understand the urgency.
Halen didn't give us anything. Not our fault.
That's so unlike her. I'll just have to ask Kells to send another vertibird then.
Captain Kells will be annoyed that we kept him waiting and wonder where the original vertibird pilot is.
Wait, why isn't Knight Owens handling this debrief?
We had some big problems at the police station. Owens, he didn't make it.
One disaster after the next. If you had arrived when you were scheduled to, we could have handled the debrief right away. As is, I'll send someone for you when I can spare the time. Dismissed.
And as you actually get to the stage of placing the explosives, there's going to be a second senior scribe who guards one of the bomb placement sections, and you must overrule them to get past and complete the mission.
I am a superior officer. I don't have to answer to the likes of you.
As you say, sir. But when my shift ends, I'm taking it up with my CO.
From there, you can pretty much freely place the bombs and escape the Pridwin, making this quest far easier than it typically would be, and Deacon will even have some new dialogue about how smoothly this all went.
Are you serious? Stop, just to be safe, step on it. Man, I'm trying! Don't get too close to him. I can't believe we're actually getting away with this. Yeah!
But overall, a really cool and unique interaction that I think the vast majority of players just missed because, yeah, the game never tells you about this option. And one of the other things a lot of you guys are missing is how much the Brotherhood evolves over the course of the game. At least some of these are pretty subtle. The Brotherhood makes it clear from an early point that the whole reason they're in the Commonwealth is to wipe out the Institute. But just like everyone else, the Brotherhood have no idea where the Institute base is. And really, it's us who introduced the idea of teleportation to the Brotherhood during the main quest of Fallout 4. From there, during the quest the molecular level, you of course craft a teleporter to break into the Institute yourself. But what you may have not realized is, following this, the Brotherhood will actually take those lessons and upgrade their own base. As after completing the molecular level, you could find that the Boston airport will now have these teleportation jammers placed all around them. Prior to completing the quest, it'll just be a bunch of crates, but then it'll be replaced shortly thereafter. And these look very similar to the teleporter, making it clear that the Brotherhood is just taking this technology and utilizing it for themselves. Although as far as I can tell, these don't actually work and the Institute can still teleport in here, but a nice little detail nonetheless. But the secrets with the Brotherhood go even deeper than that, because they also have a secret NPC that I think many of you will have never even heard of, that with Professor SKR. As you finally build the teleporter to infiltrate the Institute, you're given a secret side objective by Elder Maxon. Find Dr. Lee to help the Brotherhood with a secret project to stop the Institute. This is all around Liberty Prime, and Dr. Lee is the obvious first choice here. She's one of the few special characters who actually worked with the Brotherhood of Steel already, and you can see her doing this in Fallout 3, but since she has fled to the Commonwealth to work for the Institute instead, but now the Brotherhood wants her back. So now, for most of you, this is a pretty simple quest. Either you could pass a simple skill check to get Dr. Lee to return, or literally just run a quick errand for her, and you'll have Dr. Lee back at the Brotherhood working on Liberty Prime in no time. But she's honestly kind of rude. Dr. Lee will laugh in your face.
So now you're just gonna hurl baseless accusations to get what you want? Come on, you can do better than that.
Doesn't believe us when we say Virgil is still alive.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is gonna work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
And just generally has an attitude.
The Brotherhood wants me back, and the best they can do is send a robot that does nothing but follow orders? Sorry, but you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
So maybe any one of those things pushed you over the edge and you end up just taking her out instead, which opens up one of the least completed quest paths in Fallout 4. Mainly because, as far as I could tell, you can't actually get here via dialogue. You could say you're not going to help her, but that won't actually fail the quest. It'll just leave open the option to help her in perpetuity. This is one of the rare moments in Fallout 4 where the game is completely reactive to you using guns instead of words. And maybe Dr. Lee wasn't the nicest to anyone else in the Institute because nobody else seems to care she's gone either. Upon doing this, you'll have to return to Elder Maxon with the bad news, and he will reprimand you.
I received word that Dr. Lee's died by your hands. I demand to know what went wrong.
I was afraid she'd betray us the first chance she got.
That wasn't your decision to make. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood. Instead, you've decided to become her executioner. I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight.
My apologies, Elder.
Apologies are meaningless. Brotherhood soldiers take responsibility for their actions and move on. I expect no less out of you. Fortunately, this incident doesn't change our current strategy. We have a contingency plan that's already being put into effect that should ensure completion of our special project.
A pretty cool detail of this is you can actually get a slightly different reprimand and new dialogue options if instead of killing Yi directly, you kill someone else in the Institute, leading to them banishing you.
Lancer Captain Kells has informed me that the Institute's on high alert, and you're to blame. Explain yourself, Knight.
The Institute is the enemy. I was simply doing my duty.
Your duty is to follow my orders to the letter, Knight. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood. I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight.
I stand by my actions, sir.
Do you? Well, if nothing else, you have the courage to stand your ground. That doesn't absolve you from your mistake. But let's just say you've earned back some of my respect.
But thankfully the Brotherhood has a backup plan. So now instead, during Liberty Reprimed, you'll be tasked with finding Professor SKR.
What we need is a robotics expert. And there's someone in Diamond City that fits the bill. Her name's Professor SKR. Locals say she's a wizard when it comes to fixing robots. Why don't you head over there and see if you can talk her into helping us? Oh, and take this with you. Once she sees one of those cerebro fusion adapters, I'm pretty sure she'll have a tough time saying no.
She's at a lab in Diamond City, but as you arrive, her colleague will inform you that she has been gone for a few days, lost somewhere around the General Atomics Galleria. Upon going there, you'll find Professor SKR is a bit of a robotics expert, but she's just out in the field doing research, and honestly, yeah, this is just a way better option and way to do this quest, because Professor SKR is awesome.
My name's Professor SKR. And in answer to what I expect to be your next question, Professor is my first name, not my title. The whole thing's rather complicated. Perhaps I'll explain it to you sometime.
We'll just find someone else, I suppose.
Now hold on a moment. If you think you're going to find someone else in the Commonwealth with my level of expertise, you're sorely mistaken. All right, you've got a deal.
From there, the quest will largely just proceed as typical, but instead of having the cocky and annoying Dr. Lee, you'll have the confident and knowledgeable Professor Skara leading the way.
You call this a good start? This poor thing's memory core was completely corrupted. Haven't you people ever heard of inertial dampeners? Titanium shock casing? It won't be easy, but I should be able to make a few modifications and get his basic functions online. If you can keep your inept scribes from slowing me down.
Charming, isn't she?
After the Pridwin arrives in the Commonwealth, Elder Maxon will invite us to a meeting on board to announce the Brotherhood's mission, kicking off Shadow of Steel. And if you bring Dogmeat with you while this quest is going on, he'll actually salute while Elder Maxon's giving his speech. Dogmeat's the only companion that has a reaction during this. But as you can see in that clip, one of the other major features a lot of players miss is the plethora of Dogmeat equipables. You can give him a bandana to wear, a full set of dog armor featuring both a helmet and light to heavy armor itself, but also things like dog collars, muzzles, and even welding goggles work on Dogmeat. Although finding some of these items is going to be a lot more difficult because many of these are just randomly found dropping from other enemies, other dogs, or just out in the Commonwealth. When Nate Erdora holds baby Sean during the intro of Fallout 4, Sean is classified as a melee weapon. While settlement building on PC, you can move around unplaced items in workshop mode by holding down the E key on PC or the A key on Xbox. This basically gives you free-form movement on the ground, and it's a lot easier than having to walk your entire character around in order to place things. These small generators in Fallout 4 can get incredibly noisy, but they actually have a variety of different sounds they can use, and if you simply turn them on and then off, it'll cycle through the generator sounds, resetting them. Some of the passive sounds are way quieter. This one is my personal favorite. You can scrap the barrels in the pond at the center of Starlight Drive-In to remove the radiation effect. As well as the Penetrator perk in Fallout 4 is secretly amazing. Most assume it'll just allow you to target enemies through cover or walls in vats, which is more or less what the perk description shows and says. And well, yeah, targeting enemies through walls can definitely be handy. This is far from its greatest feature, because what Penetrator considers cover is incredibly diverse. Power armor is considered cover, so you can easily target an enemy's fusion core through their armor, causing it to overheat and explode or forcing the enemy out of their armor. Mirelurk shells are considered cover, so you can easily fire at their torsos or head through their shell, dealing full damage to the Mirelurk and oftentimes just one-shotting them. And you can even target things through robot armor, so you can instantly target their combat inhibitor, making most robot encounters incredibly easy with this perk. Overall, this will definitely make some of the toughest enemies in Fallout 4 relatively trivial to deal with, as you can instantly target their weak spot. And let me know if you want more content like this. I have a list of 25 more secrets I found while doing the research that I didn't have time to fit into this video.